In our final lesson on trig integration, we're going to talk about how to deal with product to sum identities. So when you have things like the sine of an angle times the cosine of the angle, we're going to rewrite it as a sum or a difference. And then once I have that, then I can go ahead and integrate it. So these are the four identities that we're going to be utilizing today. We are going to have, first of all, if you have the sine of an angle u times the cosine of the angle v, you can rewrite that as 1/2 times the sine of u plus v plus the sine of u minus v. That's sine. The sine of u minus v. If I have the cosine of u times the sine of v, I can rewrite that as 1/2 times the sine of u plus v minus the sine of u minus v. Two more. If I have it as the third one here is the cosine of u times the cosine of v, I can rewrite that one as 1/2 times the cosine of u plus v plus the cosine of u minus v. And finally, what if I have something that's sine-sine? So the sine of u times the sine of v. We can write that as 1/2. That's a 1/2. Yeah, that's a 1/2. That's a 1/2. Let's move it down here. Let's go 1/2 times the cosine of u minus v minus the cosine of u plus v. Alright, so once I have it written in that format, it's really quite easy to do these questions. I just have to remember the correct identity. So let's say we have something like the cosine of 5x times the cosine of 3x. I'm going to use the cosine identity that we just talked about a moment ago. It's going to be the cosine of the sum of the angles plus the cosine of the difference of the angles. So I'm going to write it with that 1/2 out front of the integral. Don't forget that. And then I'm going to write it as the cosine of 8x plus the cosine of 2x dx. Now that I have it in that format, here in this first one, u can be 8x, and the second one, u can be 2x. Du is 8 dx. Du is over here on the cosine of 2x is 2 dx. So you can integrate them individually. You end up with a 1/2 out front. It's going to be times 1/8 sine of 8x plus 1/2 sine of 2x plus c. Obviously, you could distribute that 1/2 and simplify it down a little bit. And that's it. You just got to remember those identities, which one is which one am I going to apply. You recognize sine of an angle times the cosine of the angle, or vice versa, whatever it may be. Right, that's the correct identity. Let u be the angle, and just go ahead and integrate it like you already know how.